Good morning, all of you. Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to Durga Shaft. Shall we start? Yeah, good morning, Swan. So, guys, in the last session, we discussed about the Django framework related some basic points. Okay. So, today we will discuss some more points about the Django framework, guys. So, here in the last session, why required Django framework and what is the history of Django framework? These things we done clearly. So today, features about the Django framework we will discuss, guys. Django framework. Django framework. So Django was introduced in which year, guys? History I'm talking. So in the 2003, Django was introduced. Where introduced? In the Lawrence Journal World Newspaper Organization. Who introduced? Means Simon Wilson and Adrian. These two are the authors of this Django framework, guys. Okay. They both are web developers in the Lawrence Journal organization, in the Lawrence Journal company. So these two people are working as employees. They are developing the web applications. Okay. When they are developing the multiple web applications, so they are feeling like in every application, lot of lines code, same code we are writing, duplicate code. So we need to reduce this one. We need to get some solution like that. They thought it, and later they implemented their thoughts. So taking all the common features from the existing applications and creating the new application. Okay, so that is nothing but Django. In 2005, guys, in 2005 they released it to public as an open source and free. Means freely anybody can download and install, and using the Django they can developing their own applications. Okay. In 2008, guys, they resigned to this old company, Lawrence Journal company. These two people are resigned, guys, and they started their own company, which is a DSF, nothing but Django Django Software Django Software Foundation. Django Software Foundation. Okay, now? Okay, why the name taken as Django only? Why our authors taken name as Django only? Why not other name, guys? Why not other name? Okay, so what is the reason behind that for taking the Django as a framework name means? So our both authors, guys, these developers, Simon Wilson and Adrian, both are loving music, guys. So one famous guitarist person is there. Famous guitarist person is there. His name is Django Reinhardt. Django Reinhardt. So because of that, because of this reason, so they taken our framework name as Django. Okay. So one guitarist person, guys, one guitarist person is there. Famous guitarist person. His name is Django Reinhardt. Django Reinhardt. That's why they taken our framework name as Django. He's a famous guitarist person, guys, in 1930s. Okay, so later in the 2008, initially they released 1.0 version. 1.0 version they released, guys. Later, lot of versions continuously updating. So 2x came, and later now 3x also came. Means x means some version, guys. 2.0, 2.1, or 2.2, 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, like that versions there. Versions there. Okay, na? So now latest version is 3.2 is there, guys. 3.2 is there. Whatever the version we want, we can use. So I'll tell sometimes, I mean, initially with 2.0 versions, I'll tell, and later how to upgrading with 3.2 or how to degrade with 1.0. Like these all things I'll take care, guys. So don't worry. All the versions, whatever you want, you can use it. Okay, na? So this is about the history, guys. This is about the history. So Django is a framework, I said. So framework, what is the use of framework means? Using the framework, we can developing the applications. Using the framework, we can developing the applications like a softwares, guys. Okay, so framework is nothing but a collection of APIs and classes, guys. Framework is nothing but collection of APIs and classes. Every class having a set of instructions. Every API having a set of informations. Okay, by combination of these all things, framework design, and using the framework we can design softwares. We can design softwares. For example, like a calculator software. Okay, so what is the use of softwares? Softwares are going to be definitely softwares are reducing the burden on the users, guys. Okay, so in their human being nature, daily lives there, guys, daily works there. For example, I want to calculating some big numbers. So if you want to be calculating some this number into this number, then must be required calculator. Then immediately we will get output. Otherwise, it takes some lot time if you are taking the pen and paper, guys. If you are taking the pen and paper. Okay, now? So remember that. And in our Django, guys, in our Django, so what we can do means both front end coding, back end coding, and database coding all together we are going to be learning here, guys. So here one human being person there, guys. One human being person there. So like a normal user person, guys, user. Okay, so this person sending the request with client application, nothing but front end, guys. Sending the information with the front end. So here, for example, employee detail wants to store, guys, or else Facebook registration. This is the Facebook registration you can consider. So F name, first name, L name, last name, U name, username. Okay. So PWD, password, guys, email, and like a lot of fields, guys, whatever required, and taking that one. So register one button is there, guys. Register button is there. Okay, so like we are going to be designing in our sessions, guys. Coming days, these all things in the class live code only we are going to be discussing, don't worry. So now this user, guys, this user going to give some input, guys, to making the Facebook registration. So some first name, last name, username, password, email, date of birth. Okay, like all the things giving, and finally going to click this register button, nothing but send button, submit button. Now taking this data, guys, taking this form data and going to where? Server side. Going to be server side, guys. This is the server. So this front end nothing but client application we can call, guys. So front end nothing but client app we can call. Okay, and back end code nothing but server app, guys. Server app we can call. Guys, please keep mute your speakers. All of you, please mute your speakers. Somebody is unmuted here. So now here we are sending this data, guys. After submitting, then this front end data entire taking and coming to the server side. Yeah. So in the server side, guys, all the data, first name, last name, all the data we are taking. For example, one EMP object we are calling, one employee object we are creating. This object having key and values format, dictionary format, Python dictionary format data is there, guys. First name so and so, last name so and so, username so and so, like that. Key and value format available this employee object data. Okay. Now this employee object data we need to send to database, guys. We need to send to database. Okay, so this is my database assumption, for example. So now here, so DB, guys, so many databases there. For example, MySQL, Oracle, MongoDB, like whatever you want, we can use it. So in our session, MySQL we are going to discussing, guys, most of the times, and MongoDB also I'll give you information. That means nowadays this is the more trending one, MongoDB also. So that's why we will discuss both things. So now here all my fields there, guys, all my field there. Shortcut names I'm writing, guys. F name, L name, U name, and password, and email, like that. Okay. So now whenever we are submitting, now this data, guys, we are sending to the database. So here user 1 information registered. Next one more user 2 information registered. Like all the registration data storing in the database, guys. Facebook database related in the registration table storing. Okay, database having n number of tables, guys. Registration table, login table, okay, logout table, like so many things. So okay, like multiple users registered, guys. Multiple users registered. Later, using the login page, guys. Using the login page. For example, here I have the login page, just assumption. Okay. So at the time of login, uname is required and the PWD required. Okay, and login button required. Just assumption this one. So now here password, login, everything there, guys. Whenever we are clicking this login button after enter the username password, taking this username password and going to the this backend server side, guys. In the server side receiving the data, login object data, for example. So taking the data and sending this data to the database. So here, for example, these all are one record, guys. One user related objects every line. Okay. So in these records, guys, with this username password, any user already existed or not, like checking. If not existed, all the records not satisfied, then please enter valid username password, like return, guys. So message return, error message. Okay. So if any user existing with this username and password, if any record is matching, then means you already registered. So already registered means now successfully you can log in. After login, then displaying a different page. After login, then the internal home page, Facebook related home page going to be displaying. Am I right? So finally here, guys, to do these things, user registration related and logins related, these all things using the UI technologies, nothing but presentation, guys. HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, jQuery. By combination of these all things, we are going to be developing this front-end related coding. Okay, and using our Django framework, we are going to be developing only this one, guys. Okay, so from the front end, whenever user sending the data, that data how receiving here, how receiving the data, client information receiving in the server side, and from server side to database sending. This process done by our Django. This process is done by our Django. If registration successfully done, then return one confirmation message, guys. Your registration done successfully. If login successfully done, then return one confirmation message. After login, redirected to home page. If not login, please enter please enter valid username password. Okay, like that message is written. Like what you want to do, everything we are going to write in this backend coding only. Nothing but server side, guys. That is using the pure Django. We are going to be learning using the Django. So Django always communicate with the front end, communicating with the database. Okay, na? So Django communicating with the front end, guys. Here this section, and also communicating with the database, this section. So all together we are going to learn in our session. I'll take these all things, front end with back end with database, all together. Clear? So separately, fully, completely, if you want to learn UI technology, separate courses there. I told guys already. Separate UI courses there and separate databases courses there. Okay. So here for our Django, this is our main target, guys. Django is our main target. For our Django, what presentation is required? That is, I'll take care. All the rules and regulations, I'll take care, guys. And using my rules and regulations, you can developing like this registration page, login page, logout page, profile pages, update page, create page, contact page. Like these things you are able to developing. That is, I'll take care. Don't worry. Okay, now? And database related also, guys. In this database, what you want to do? So I want to create data. I want to update data. I want to delete data. I want to filter the data. Like major operations, all things I will show you guys. Okay, now? So remember this one. Yeah. So okay, next one. So Django futures, guys. Django futures. So we'll discuss now, guys. Django futures. So Django is providing so many features, guys. Already in the last session, I told one point. By using the Django, if we are developing any real-time application, then we are going to write very less lines of code. Why less lines we are writing? Django framework is purely developed by using the Python only. So Python with Java, guys, the difference is Python versus Java, you know already. At the time of learning Python only, you are getting these points. In Python, hello message, single line you are writing, but in the Java, multiple lines you are writing. Okay, so that's why using the Django framework also, very less lines we are going to be developing as using the Java, more lines required to developing. Okay. Prasad, please keep your speaker. Prasad, please mute your speaker. Guys, if you are not putting your speaker mute, then myself going to be putting. Okay. So when you have the doubts in the chat box, can raise your doubts. I'll give you the reply. Otherwise, other people will getting a disturbance, guys. Okay. Okay. So so Django having a lot of features, guys. Using the Django framework, very less lines of code we are writing. Because of the less lines code, guys, within the less time our program executing. Okay, within the less time executing means obviously performance increasing. Obviously cost also saving. Like a number of features there, guys. Every organization focusing on three factors. So within the less time, with the less cost, they need to develop in the best product. These three things achieving by using the Django framework. That's why nowadays Django is getting more demanding, guys. More demanding. So guys, really in the real-time organization, so some people, for example, you are a employee. So 4 years or 5 years, you worked on the Java using the Java technologies. You developed the project. Really, you are working 4 years using the Java, guys. So later, suddenly your management people are giving some instructions. So coming projects we are going to get using the Django. So coming project we are going to be developing by using the Django. So you guys need to be learn Django. So we have the 1 month time, we have the 2 month time, like that. Some deadlines giving. Okay. So the people who are ready to learn Django framework, then those people are I mean keep maintaining by management people, and they are involving in the new project. So if the people are not ready to learn Django, then they need to resign for that company. They need to search another job in the another company on the Java technology. Okay. So a lot of people are learning as weekend batches, only Saturdays, Sundays. If you employee, I mean right now online batches there. Previously offline batches there. So myself, so many offline batches taken, guys. That time only for employees purpose, weekend batches I taken. So weekend batches means Saturday, Sunday, full hours. I mean morning coming and up to evening. So for day 4-5 hours they are sitting. Weekends 4-5 hours continuously sitting. In middle some tea breaks taking just okay, for the relaxation purpose. So only Saturdays, Sundays they are not having the offices, guys, holidays. That's why Saturdays, Sundays they are spending here and learning the subject. Okay, later I mean 4 weeks if they are attending, then course completing just 4 weeks. So Saturday, Sunday, totally 8 days taking every I mean every day 5 hours, 4 hours like that. So 8 days means 8 into 5, 40 hours. So almost 40 days sessions completing. Okay, na? So like they are attending and learning and they are developing in their company, guys. Okay. So right now online batches only. That's why people are learning regularly from home only. They are connecting and learning all these subjects. Okay, na? So many people I saw, guys, previously all are employees only. So many people came to my batches. So they are already working on using the Java, using the .NET like that. But later their I mean their management people told to them, you need to learn Django, then only we have the I mean, you are going to be working here, otherwise you can leave my company, like that, giving instructions. I means in their company Django related projects coming. Why they are taking Django projects more means, so using the Django with less time, with less cost, they are going to be developing the best product. So management people are focusing only these three factors only. They need to save time, and they need to save money required. Okay, and they need to develop best product. If developing the best product performance wise, if good product developing, then other clients, new clients will come and giving more projects to this company. Okay, you are developing good product, so again I'm giving one more product to you, can you develop that one, like that. Business dealings going, guys. Okay, that's why always, I mean, now present days, all the MNCs like Wipro, TCS, IBM, all the companies are changing their projects, old projects into Django framework related. Previously they developed using the .NET, Java, guys. Now those projects are slowly changing into the Django framework. That's why, so learn perfectly Python with Django, and also REST API is there, guys. All three things if you are learning, then you are able to develop in the Django project in the real time. Okay, now love you understanding. Okay, so now here Django having so many features, guys. First one is Django is a fast framework, guys. Django is a fast framework, we can say, guys. How we can say Django is a fast framework means, so by using the Django framework, we can create any kind of website within less time, guys. That's why we can say Django is a fast framework. Okay, within the less time we can develop in the any program, guys, any project. Okay, that means it takes the less time. We are writing the less lines we are writing means less time taking, so obviously we can say Django framework is a fast framework. That is the process, guys. Okay, so directly only point name only I'm writing, guys. So explanation in the material you are going to get, don't worry. Okay, so one word answer, if you want you can take it here. So we can, guys, we can create any application within less time, so we can say Django is a fast framework. We can say Django is a fast framework. So Django, we can say a fast framework, guys. Okay, now okay, next one. So Django is a scalable framework, guys. Django is a scalable framework. So scalable framework means what? Scalable framework. So we can create all levels of websites, guys. So it is called a scalable framework. All levels of websites means low level website, high level website, medium level website, we can create, guys. Low level website means, for example, I created one application. That application using me and my friends only. For example, maximum 10 to 15 people are using. Okay, that is a low level application. Medium level application means for every day 5,000 to 10,000 people are interacted with our application. For example, our Durgasoft online site, you can take it. Durgasoft solutions online site is there, guys. So lot of students interacted with this site, and they are getting the information about the new batches, all the things, guys. Okay, so every day 5,000 to 10,000 people are visiting our Durgasoft site. That is, we can say, medium level application. Okay, and a high level application means you can take the Facebook, guys, YouTube, Gmail. Every day lakhs of people in entire world, guys. Gmail using in entire world, guys. Facebook using entire world people. So every day lakhs of people are using our application. Then that application we can call high level application. So using the Django framework, any kind of applications, low level, high level, medium level, all kind of applications we can develop. Okay, na? So that is technically we are calling the scalable framework, guys. Scalable framework. So low level, medium level, okay, low level, medium level, and high level, okay. So and high level applications, high level applications we can design, okay, supporting guys. Next, third one is versatile framework. Versatile framework guys. Django is a versatile framework. So versatile framework means using the Django framework we can create guys any kind of domain websites, any kind of domain based websites. Okay, so domain websites means, for example, banking applications guys. We can developing banking applications, we can developing networking related applications, we can developing healthcare related, we can developing animations related, nothing but gaming related, okay, all are different sectors guys. Using the Django framework we can developing all domain related applications like banking guys, banking related, networking related, okay, network related, healthcare related, healthcare guys, healthcare related, and gaming related, okay, gaming related apps we can design, we can develop. So that is we are calling the versatile framework, versatile framework, okay now. So next guys, Django is a more secure we can call guys. Django is a more secure we can say, more secure guys, more secure. Django framework is a more secured framework. Using the Django, if you are developing the applications, providing lot of security guys. Okay, so Django by default, so guys, Django having the default code which is around 80% code guys. Whenever we are installing the Django, along with Django, lot of code coming guys, lot of code coming, predefined code. So lot of classes are coming, lot of methods are coming along with the Django framework. These all code around 70% or 80% there guys. 70% code is there. When we are installing the Django, around 70% code we are getting. So this 70% code by default coming with some security guys. By default coming with some security. For example, we have the CSRF token security. Coming days you are going to get concepts wise CSRF related means cross CSRF guys. Cross site request forgery. Cross site request forgery. So from one application to another application, whenever we are going to be communicating, some security code generated guys, by default using the Django, some security code generated. Instead of hacking the hackers sometimes are going to be hacking whenever we are sending the request guys. So to overcome this problem, Django itself dynamically generating some security code, okay, that is the CSRF token. Later you will get more thing guys. So 70% code by default coming guys. This 70% code pre-compiled, syntactically correct or not, everything checking guys. This 70% code pre-compiled and coming with a pre-secure concept guys, security related coming, okay. So that's why we can say Django is a more secure, Django is a more secure, okay. So next guys here, Django is a open and free source guys, open source framework and free software. Django is a open framework, open source framework and free framework. So open source framework means what guys? Open source and free, okay. So free framework. So open source means Django, I mean, at the time of developing the Django, lot of code is there, 70% code is there. This 70% code we can see guys. We can see this 70% code. Okay, what they developed, how they developed, like everything we can see guys, everything we can see. That is we are calling the open source. Okay, for example, Facebook, YouTube, if you are taking, we are able to using those applications, but we are not seeing the code, what is created, what they created for developing these applications. But Django related coding, 70% code we can able to see. that is open source we are calling, and the free framework. So no need to pay any amount to any company. So Adrian and Simon Wilson are their developers. For those, I mean, to them we are not required to pay any money. So freely we can download from internet, and using that framework we can developing the applications. That's why we can say it is a free framework. Okay. So next, guys, portable framework, guys. Django is a portable framework. Portable framework. Portable framework means nothing but cross-platform supporting, guys. Django supporting the cross-platform. Using Django, guys, I designed this application. Using the Django, I designed this application. This is like a Zomato. Okay. So something, one application, guys. In Windows, guys, in Windows platform, I designed one Django application. Okay. So app one you can consider. Now here I have the Linux system, guys. Okay. So so Linux system there, guys. Linux system is there. Okay. Now here Linux OS, Mac OS, Windows OS, like so many are there, guys. Okay, so many are there. So here, for example, app2 you designed, app2 you designed. Okay, so here Mac OS is there, Apple related, guys. So Mac OS is there. So here app3 designed, app3 designed. Now my application one will communicate with application 3, no problem. Okay, application one will communicate to application 2, no problem. Okay, now application 2 also will communicate to application 3. So all the communications are possible, guys. All the communications are possible. This is we are calling cross platform. And also one more point. So this application one using the Django framework in Windows platform I designed, Windows OS. The same application we can execute in the Linux platform, guys. The same application we can execute in the Linux platform. For example, Facebook application you can take it. So using the Windows, for assumption, guys, using the Windows platform, they designed the Facebook application. But same application in the Linux system also we can use. Same application in the Mac systems also we can use. Okay, that is we are calling the cross-platform, nothing but portable framework. So olden days, guys, for Linux separate application, for Windows separate application, for Mac separate application, like that they are designing. But nowadays only one application designing that can execute anywhere in any platform executing and with any application communicating. Okay, now? So that is technically we are calling the portable, guys, nothing but cross-platform, guys. Understanding, everyone? Yeah. So next, Django is supporting this cross-platform related, guys. Cross-platform related. So next, Django, if you are taking as any application real time like Amazon, Flipkart, Swiggy, Zomato, BookMyShow, like any application you can take it. All the applications must be required to communicate with database to store their data. Amazon site storing n number of items information in the database, guys. Later, whenever we are sending the Amazon request www.amazon.com for Dell laptops I want to buy. So for the Dell, if you are sending the request, then a lot of laptops information you are getting, guys, with the features. How much capacity is there? I mean, what is the capacity? What is the RAM? What is the hard disk? What features there? How much cost is there? With the image, okay, backside image, front side image, side images, all showing. All are showing, guys. These are all information storing in the database. So you can take any application, almost 99% all the applications required database communication for storing that application related information, and in the future whenever we required we can get back. Okay, so here also, guys, using the Django framework, if you want to developing any one application, that application can communicate with all databases. Django supporting with all databases, guys. Okay, so Django by default coming with one database, guys. By default coming with one database, that is SQLite 3, guys. SQLite 3, this is one database, guys. Default database. So Databases means, guys, we need to download and we need to install and we need to connect with program, but no need to download and install. By default coming with Django, guys. By default coming with Django. So directly we can communicate with this one and we can store the data. That is one of the best advantage. Okay. And also, guys, some major databases there. All major, guys, all major databases supports also there, guys. All major database supports by Django, guys. All major databases supports also there using the Django, guys. So major databases means, for example, we have the MySQL, guys. We have the Oracle DB. We have the SQL server. Okay, we have the SQL server. We have the MongoDB. Like all the databases, guys. Whatever the DB you want, you can use in your application. Your Django program will communicate it to particular database. Okay, so here we need to download, guys, these databases. For example, if you want to use this one, you need to download from internet and you need to install, and then later you need to communicate with Django. Here Django is there, here MySQL is there. So Django to MySQL communication related some settings, some code we need to write manually. But if you want to communicate with SQLite 3, no need to download and no need to write the settings also for communicating with SQLite 3. By default, Django itself coming with some connection, guys, for the SQLite 3. So we have the database section separately. There more clearly with the diagrammatically all points we will discuss, guys. Django to database, how we are communicating. Okay, now. So all the major databases also supporting. Next, guys, Django by default coming with one admin site application, guys. Okay, Django by default coming with admin site related presentation. Admin site related presentation, guys. So what is the use of admin site, guys? What is the use of admin site? So here I have one application, guys. So I have one application. Roughly I'm telling, guys, here at the time of discussing the admin site concept there separately. Then more clearly we will discuss. So here this is a Zomato application assumption, guys. This is what Zomato application, Zomato app. In the Zomato app, all the items information displaying. So vegetarian item, non-vegetarian item, okay, chicken legs, okay, mutton pieces, something like vegetarian and non-vegetarian related items displaying. Whatever we are liking, we are going to be buying. We are going to give order, guys. Now here users using, this is the browser, guys. Actually application will get the presentation on the browser. So users, guys, here one human being person there, okay. So this person sending some request, guys. This person sending one request to the Zomato application. What sending request? www.zomato.com. Then getting the site, guys, and I want to get vegetarian food, then getting the vegetarian items, non-vegetarian, then getting the non-vegetarian items, like all are coming. How it is getting these all items means, here we have the database, guys. Okay, items DB, we can consider here items DB, guys. So items DB, in this items DB we have all items information, guys. Item 1 so and so, cost so and so, feature so and so, pieces coming, like that, something display, guys. Okay, now like that all the information storing. So next, whenever this user sending request, guys, this request communicating to database, okay, getting this all information back, and now displaying here, all the items. Okay, now. So guys, here item 1, for example, veg biryani is there, okay. So vegetarian related biryani is there, guys. This cost is one plate 200 rupees, guys. One plate 200 rupees cost. Okay, so who is maintaining this information? So instead of 200, if 20 rupees maintaining here means multiple people going to give order, then getting the loss, guys. These people are getting the loss, restaurant people. So item cost is 200 rupees, like maintaining, guys, in the database. Who is maintaining means one admin person is there, guys. Okay, one admin person is there, like a management person, hotel management person. Okay, So you can consider this person is admin person and he is user or customer guys. Okay, so admin person will connect to the admin side guys. So in our coming sessions, admin side, how we are communicating, how we are handling, I'll show you. So admin person communicating to admin site, admin site. So here admin site there guys, admin site there. Okay, via the admin site, for example, you can take here one admin site is there. So this admin person will communicate to admin site, and via the admin site, people are communicating to items DB. Admin person communicating to items DB. So here all the presentation there guys, item cost is what, item name is what, item image is what, okay, like item information storing here, presentation displaying. So now admin people will enter all the items related information. After entering, going to click the submit button, then taking the data, storing into the database. Okay, now here all the data there, items information there. So today 200 guys, maybe tomorrow offer is there. Okay, only 150 rupees you are going to get same biryani. Okay, na? So that's why admin person keep interacted with items DB and updating the information, items information updating. And user whenever sending the request to the browser, using the browser, will get database related information and displaying in the browser guys, displaying in the browser. This is the browser URL. Here we are typing zomato.com like that. Okay, now I satisfied these two items guys. So need to give customer order. Customer is going to give the order. Okay, so now for example, assumption here one more table, order table is there. This is what order table guys, order table. Okay, so what are the orders you are giving, those orders information saving here guys. So this admin person doing what, continuously looking into order table, any orders coming or not like that. If any orders coming, that information understanding by admin people, getting information getting to admin. So now admin people giving information to some restaurant people guys. Bottom side restaurant is there, for example assumption here some restaurant is there. So admin people giving information to restaurant people. So so and so person from so and so address given so and so orders, like that information giving to the restaurant people. Now restaurant people will pack all the orders and now going to be delivering to the customer. Okay, so like this process going as real time applications related. So in this process, this is admin site there guys. So any application, Zomato, Swiggy, Amazon, Flipkart, you can take it. For every application, admin related presentation must be required for interacting with databases and handling the items information and orders information. So for that admin site required. No need of developing by ourselves for our Django application. Django by default coming with admin site presentation. Okay, na? So directly we can use admin site and we can communicate it with databases. Okay, na? This is one of the best advantage guys. No need to developing for every application. Okay, automatically coming admin site related. That's it. Later we will discuss clearly about the admin side. Separate sessions there guys, for every concept, databases how communicating, admin side how communicating like that. So next guys, Django by default coming with one auth application, nothing but authentications related application. Django by default coming with one authentication applications, nothing but guys, registrations, login, logout, profiles, okay, forget passwords, change passwords, like these all things for every application required. Facebook registration, login, logout, profiles, change password, all are there guys. For Gmail also there. Okay, so like multiple applications, most of the times most of the applications having the user authentications, like registration, login, logout, profile kind of things. So for those all things, no need to write the code by ourselves. By default coming with Django. Django itself developing these all logics, login related, logout related, forget password related. Okay, these all things guys, change password related, all things by default developing. Just we are going to use those things. Okay, according to our requirement, wherever we require, we need to import predefined things and we need to use. That is, we will discuss guys separately one session there. The registrations, logins, logouts, forget passwords, like all things we are going to be discussing. Okay, na? This is also one of the best feature by Django guys. So next guys, next. So by default coming with garbage collector guys. So default garbage collector is there guys. Default garbage collector. Garbage means guys, garbage means waste. Garbage means waste. Okay, unused objects. So need to be collecting and need to be removing. So default garbage collector is there. For example guys, here a equal to 10 is there. If I'm printing a here, if I'm printing a, then I'm going to get the 10 value. Okay, so next guys, next here, b equal to 20 I'm taking. Next a equal to 30 I'm taking. Okay, now if I'm printing here b, if I'm printing b, 20 value I'm getting. If I'm printing a, what value I'm getting? 30 value you're getting, latest value. Okay, a value this, b value this. For every statement some memory created guys. First 10 value created, first 10 value created, and assigning to one variable which is nothing but a variable, a variable. Okay, so next 20 value created guys, and assigning to the b variable, assigning to the b variable. So now 20 is there, and now here b is there guys. Okay, next 30 value assigning guys, 30 value assigning. Okay, so here 30 is there. This 30 value assigning to where? So a variable only, already a variable created. Okay, so to this only assigning guys. So this latest a related latest value is what? 30. So this is automatically, this one automatically deleting, automatically deleting. Initially some memory allocated for 10, now that memory deallocated. Now 30, for the 30 allocating memory. That is all taken by Python itself. Okay, so because of the garbage collector guys, this is now onwards unused value. So if you are using the a variable, then you are going to get the 30, not getting 10. So that's why this is unused value. Okay, useless value. So those useless related values, unused objects, all are going to be collecting automatically. Okay, so that is a automatically garbage collector is there guys. Okay, next guys, and to separately maintaining, to separating front end code and back end code guys. So back end code in one area, front end code in one area, separately we can maintain, separately we can maintain. So some people working on this back end area, some people working on this front end area, means a parallel development possible using the Django. Parallel development possible guys. Okay, so here the one ready-made concept is there, templates concept is there. So using the templates, more dynamic response and static response all together we can design. These all are separate sessions. Programmatically we will discuss later. Okay, so all UI code, all UI code separately guys, separately maintains, maintains for more readability purpose. All UI code separately maintained for more readability purpose. Otherwise getting the complexity for understanding guys. So in Django guys, one of the best feature is so ORM concept is there guys. Okay, Django ORM layer is there, ORM layer is there, ORM layer there guys, ORM layer. So what is the use of ORM layer? ORM means object relational mapping guys. So a simple point, remember this is a very important concept, and more number of times we are going to be discussing this. So here Django there guys, Django ORM query we are writing. So I want to get all records from database. I want to get single record from database. I want to get multiple records from database. Or else only employee name it belongs to Suresh. I want to get the people who are having the salary equal to 20,000. I want to get like different operations. We can do it on the database guys. So those all things we are calling the queries. Queries. What you want to do, you can query. Okay. So Django ORM layer providing lot of ORM queries. ORM queries, guys. So using the ORM queries, we can communicating to MySQL. Okay. So here Django ORM is there. So Django ORM is automatically converted into MySQL format, guys. Converted into MySQL format. Okay. So in our Django application, if we are using the MySQL database connection, then Django to MySQL automatically converted. Or else in our Django program, if we are using the MongoDB settings, guys, then automatically Django ORM converted into MongoDB format. Okay. If you are using the Oracle, guys, then automatically converted into Oracle format. Oracle format. Okay. So we are not responsible to learn these courses, guys, these concepts. MongoDB queries, MySQL queries, Oracle queries. No need of discussing, no need of learning, no need of writing also. Just we are going to write Django ORM queries. Which database we are using in our program, guys? Which database we are using in our program? That DB format automatically converting Django code into particular DB format, then communicating to DB. Okay, now? So that is one of the best feature, guys, using the ORM. For example, Python with database we are communicating, guys. Python with database. Did you done that one practicing? Python with database communication. Did you done or not? So almost most of the people learning, guys, Python with database, Python with MySQL, Python with Oracle, Python with SQL server, like that, guys, PostgreSQL, whatever you want. So Python with MySQL means all MySQL queries I need to write, I need to learn, I need to write. Later my management people changing database, guys, MySQL to MongoDB format, changing MongoDB connections they want to do. Then all MySQL queries you need to remove, and you need to learn MongoDB queries, and you need to write the MongoDB related queries. That is making lot of burden on the developers, lot of time taking. Okay. So obviously cost increasing and duration increasing. Okay. Burden increasing on the developers, like lot of problems there, guys. But if you are using the Django, guys, so I used MySQL settings, then Django automatically converting into MySQL. Okay. Later I want to use MongoDB. My management people decide to use MongoDB. Then simply database settings, 4-5 lines there. Just those lines settings you are changing. Instead of MySQL, MongoDB connections you are giving. That's it. Code you are not changing anything. Coding you are not going to do anything changes. Automatically converting into MongoDB. That is the best feature by Django, guys, ORM layer. Okay. So one more very important feature is, this is the last one, guys. So here template inheritance is there, guys. Template inheritance is there. This is the one of the best feature, guys. Okay. So templates nothing but HTMLs. In Django, technically we are calling templates. HTMLs we are calling technically as templates. So login template, register template, home template. Okay, nothing but home HTML, register HTML, like that. So template inheritance is there. Inheritance means in Python you are getting. Inheritance means from parent class into child class we are accessing the properties. Okay, the process of inheriting the properties from parent class into child class, or else from base class into derived class, is called inheritance. So template nothing but HTML. Inheritance nothing but reusability. Reusability, guys. Okay. So HTML reusability code. So we have here one home HTML. We have one login HTML. We have one register HTML. Like multiple HTML there, guys. Assumption. In every HTML, generally HTML syntax is what? HTML code we are writing. And next inside head code we are writing. Inside that, what you are writing as title you are writing, okay, and followed by something, and required to close again title, okay. And now here, for example, head you are going to be closing, and body, like this. A lot of queries, I mean lot of tags you are writing as okay, body tag you are writing, body you are closing, like that. These all tags are required for this page, required for this page, required for this page, required for this page, means same tags we are writing for n number of times, guys, in these all HTMLs. Okay, this is nothing but duplicate coding. No need of writing here, no need of writing here, no need of writing here, and no need of writing here. So take all these common tags into one separate file. Now this file we can inheriting into required templates. Okay, so HTML open tag, head tag, close tag, like these all things no need to write in all HTMLs. Just in one place you are writing in one HTML, and that HTML we can reuse in all other HTMLs. Now in these HTMLs, guys, for example, this is a home page. Simply one h1 tag, okay, home message I'm writing. That's it. Home message. Okay, like you are writing. So only home related h1 tag only you created for this first page, guys. Remaining tags HTML, head, title, body, all you are getting from this template. Okay, so that is reusability. So no need of writing in multiple HTMLs all the HTML tags. So we can reuse from one common place. That is called template inheritance. So in the Django, guys, real time, without template inheritance there is no project. Without template inheritance there is no project in real time. Definitely we are using this one. So here lot of times, a lot of coding we need to write, guys, duplicate. So just can see here, in this place headers there, guys, header menus, home menu, contact menu, login menu, service menu, like that. Here footer is there, copyrights reserved for so and so, like that. Okay, so here also left side some contents there, guys. For example, Python tutorials, Django tutorials, if you are taking, guys. So here installation, okay, architecture, and how to creating the, or else about the list, about the dictionary, about the set, like concepts there, guys. Whatever the concepts we are clicking, that concept related information displaying here. Am I right, guys? So real time sites, guys, when you are I think you are following the some sites for learning the Python. Okay, Python tutorials, like so many are there. So here home there, home menu there, guys, contact menu is there, service menu is there, what services we are providing, login, register, like that there. Here copyrights, for example, so copyrights, guys, copyright problems, copyrights, we are this application related like we are writing. So in this entire program, guys, only this area every time going to be changing. Only this is changing every time. So remaining this header part, this footer part, this left frame, everything is same for all the menus. If I'm clicking home menu, then home information displaying here, guys. Home related information displaying. But header, footer, left frame common. If I'm clicking here service related, only service page displaying, header, footer, left frame common. Okay, so means in every page no need to write header code, footer code, left frame code. One time we are writing in one place, that is we are going to reuse. Nothing but that is called template inheritance. Very important concept, this one. Okay, now, so in our sessions I will show you guys like this how we are going to designing. Okay, in the class only, live coding only going to show you. Okay, so these all are Django features, guys. Okay, these all are Django features. Django reducing the lot of burden. For example, in every page you need to write lot of HTML code or header related, footer related, left frame related. So no need to write one time, write, use a number of times. Like a Python functions, guys. Python function behavior is what? Write one time, use n number of times. Am I right? Write one time, use n number of times. Reusability, guys. So same like here also you are getting the reusability, and this is also reusability. Django queries you are writing, and those queries converted into MySQL, Oracle, MongoDB, whatever the DB you want, that format converting. Nothing but reusability only. Okay, now. So like lot of benefits there, guys. Here no need to developing admin site related and authentication related. All are by default developed by Django. We are going to use, guys, according to our requirement. Okay, that is important here. Understanding? So these all things we are calling the Django features, guys. Because of these all features, Django getting more popularity nowadays. So simply you can consider, guys, this template inheritance. Just now I explained any application if you are taking, So header part is there, footer part is there. This is common for all the applications, header and footer. Later is body part changing. So this header part related lot of code I need to write, 50 lines code I need to write. Okay, footer related 30 lines code I'm writing, for example. Okay, this 50 plus 30, 80 lines code, no need to write every time. One time you are writing and using for home, contact, service, like that. Nothing but reducing the lines of code. Reducing the lines of code means within the less time we can developing. Within the less time we are developing means within the less time program executing from top to bottom, line by line executing, guys. Within the less time executing. Obviously, performance increasing, cost shaving. Less time you are developing means within the duration of the project shaving, duration of the project time shaving, guys. Obviously cost shaving, performance increasing, like lot of benefits you are getting using the Django, okay now, guys? Yeah, that's it. Remember these things, basic things, guys, about the Django history and features what are provided. Things I said now. Why required to learn Django also I told. So within the less time with less cost, if you need to come, if you want to learn, that is the Django framework only. And also more interview calls are coming as a Django developer. Okay, for the Django developers, more calls are coming. So be ready to learn, and then be practice regularly day to day. Then immediately you are going to get the jobs also. Okay, so that's it, guys. And Django and REST API both same time if you want to attend, that is your wish. Same day, today 10:30 we have the REST API session also, guys. Demos going. Yesterday only I started. Same like Django, REST API also started. So that's your wish. Okay. So or else any of your friends there who already learning Django, then inform to them. So you'll get it, guys. Okay. So tomorrow session, Django framework, how installing. For installing Django framework, what are the prerequisites? What required before installing the Django, and after that how we are installing Django, which version we are installing. Okay, and after installing where saving, like all the things you are going to get, don't miss it. Okay, na? So installation point you are going to get from where you are getting, how installing, like all things. Okay, thank you, guys. So I'm going to stop now recording. If you are having any queries, you can ask me. Yeah. So do you have any queries, guys?
Sir, explain about ORM layer once again.
Yeah. Yes. So ORM means object relational mapping layer. Object relational mapping. So Django to particular database I want to connect, guys. Django to particular database I want to connect. So for example, Django ORM query. If you want to write, I'm writing. You don't know right now, just assumption. So employee model I have. Okay. This is my model name, guys. Employee. So nothing but table. Employee table is there in my database. So from this table, I want to get all the data. So model name dot objects dot all method we are writing. This is the Django ORM query. Okay. Next, from the Django to MySQL, if you want to connect, guys, this ORM query is converting like MySQL format. In the MySQL database query, how we are writing to get all the records means select star from table name. Table name is what? Employee, and semicolon also required. This is the MySQL query, guys. So even though if you don't know this query, don't worry. We are going to learn in our session these queries. These queries automatically converting like this way if you are using the MySQL database, guys. In your Django settings, your project, if you want to communicate with MySQL DB, then this ORM query converting like this way. For example, you want to communicate with MongoDB, not MySQL. Then in the MongoDB, if you want to get all the records data, then db dot collection nothing but here table. And if you want to get all the records, find of then here JSON format you are going to be getting. So this is the query for MongoDB for getting all the records, guys. MongoDB related. Okay, like that, database to database queries are changing, guys, for getting all the records, creating record, updating, deleting, like that. Okay, so we are not required to learn these queries DB related. We are responsible to learn these queries, Django ORM queries. This is what Django ORM query, guys. So now this Django ORM query automatically converting into MongoDB format. Okay, now, so this is about the ORM, guys. So these ORM queries are required for filtering the database. I want to get all records. So nothing but, for example, here multiple records there, guys. Record 1, record 2, record 3, like n number of records there. So this ORM query converting like this way, and now this query communicating to database and getting all the records. Okay, so now giving back, guys. Now this data giving back. So wherever you are writing this query, there now all the records getting from database, saving into one variable. Now in this variable, all the database records there in our Django. Now whatever you want, you can do it with that data. So from the database, all records we can get and we can display in the table format with the front end, guys. All the presentation you can write with the table format. In our coming sessions, we will do these all things. Okay, now I want to get all records. I want to get only particular record. I want to get who are having location with Mumbai, guys. The people who belongs to location with Mumbai, I want to filter. The people who are getting salary less than 30,000, I want to get. Who are getting exactly 30,000, I want to get. Like a lot of queries there. These queries separately we will discuss. Clear these points? So for database interaction purpose, we are using the ORM queries. And database to database, no need to write separately. Just ORM queries we are writing. That is automatically converting into DB format. That's the matter.
Thank you, sir.
So Dinesh, widgets we are going to be covering, guys. We are going to be learning here at the time of developing the registration related, login related, about the widgets we will discuss. Widgets nothing but for like in the HTML numbers related, first name, last name, username, email, password, image related, file uploading related. These all things we are calling the widget. So I mean, one more feature I forgot to inform. So Django providing the forms concept, guys, ready-made concept there. So in HTML, guys, using the HTML, we can design what is first name, what is email, what is password, like that. For example, if it is a password, at the time of typing the password, dot 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 coming, guys. Okay, hiding the data, dot 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 coming like this. Okay, so at the time of entering email, @ required, dot required. Okay, admin @gmail.com. If @ not there, dot not there, this is the not email, like rules there. So using the HTML we are designing. So without HTML also, using the Django forms, ready-madely we are going to get these features. Admin email feature, password feature, all the things. These things we are calling the widgets. So using the Django, how we are creating the HTML widgets, these things we will discuss. Don't worry. Okay, now? Yeah. Any other queries?
No, sir.
Yeah. So any other one? Or can I close session? Okay, guys. Thank you. See you tomorrow.